So, activities of the project. First one is unique activities. The activities in a project must be unique. So, all the activities in a project must be unique one. So, a project has never happened exactly in the same way before, and it will never happen again under the same conditions. So, this one we are calling all the activities in a project must be unique one. So, something is always different each time in the activities of a project are repeated. So something is always different in each time the activities of project are repeated. Usually the variation are random in nature. For example, a part is delayed, someone is sick, some worker is sick, or a power failure occurs. So this one we are calling, and repeated activities also called unique activities. These are random events that can happen, but you never are sure of when or how and what impact they will have on the schedule. So that is random events means example part is delayed, someone is sick or power failure, like this. These random variations are the challenge for the project manager. These are called risk. So this is called unique activities. Next activity is complex activities. The complex activities that make up the project are not simple, repetitive acts such as mowing the land, painting the warehouse, washing the car, or loading the delivery truck. So the complex activity made the project are not simple but complex. They are complex in manner. For example, designing an intuitive user interface to an application system is a complex activity. So the second activity is complex activities. The next one is connected activities. The connectedness implies that there is a logical or technical relationship between pairs of activities. So if this connectedness is there between pair of activities, you can call these activities are called connected activities. There is an order to the sequence in which the activities that make up the project must be completed. They are considered connected because the output from one activity is the input to another activity. So these are called connected activities. For example, you must design the computer program before you can program it. So after design activities are completed, then only you can go for program coding. So these are connected activities, and you could have a list of unconnected activities that must all be complete in order to complete the project. For example, consider painting the interior rooms of a house. With some exceptions, the rooms can be painted in any order. The interior of house is not completed painted until all its rooms have been painted, but they may be painted in any order. Painting the house is a collection of activities, but it is not considered the project according to the definition. Then, one goal. All the projects must have a single goal. For example, to design an inner city playground for aided to dependent children families. However, very large or complex project may be divided into several sub-projects, each of which is a project in its own right. This division makes for better management control. For example, sub-project can be defined at the department, division, or geographic level. This artificial decomposition of a complex project into sub-project often simplifies the scheduling of resources and reduces the need for interdepartmental communications while a specific activity is worked on. The downside is that the project are now interdependent. Even though interdependency adds another layer of complexity and communication, it can be handled. So all the project must have one goal. In specified time. Okay. All the project should have a specified completion date. This date can be self-imposed by management or externally specified by a client or government agency that are our customers. So anyway, the project should have a completion time, date. That is called duration of the project. The deadline is beyond the control of anyone working on the project. The project is over on the specified completion date whether or not the project work has been completed within the budget. Project also have resource limits such as a limited amount of people, money or machines, that is resources that are dedicated to the project. These resources can be adjusted or down by the management, but they are considered fixed resources by the project manager. For example, suppose a company has only one web designer at the moment, that is a fixed resource that is available to the managers. So they have to complete the work with this available resources. Senior management can change the number of resources, but that luxury is not available to the project manager. If the one web designer is fully scheduled, the project manager has a resource conflict that he or she cannot resolve. Next, project parameters. So the projects are having several parameters. The 5 main parameters are scope, quality, cost, time, resources. So these are the constraints. You can call it as a constraint or parameter for every project. These constraints form an interdependent set. A change in one constraint can require the change in another constraint in order to restore the equilibrium of the project. So these 5: scope, quality, cost, time, resources. These 5 constraints are interdependent. If you have a change in scope, it will affect or it will require a change in quality, cost, time or resources. If you have any constraint, any changes in cost, that is budget, it will obviously it will affect the quality or time or resources. In this context, a set of 5 parameters form a system that must remain in balance for the project to be in balance, because they are so important to the success or failure of the project. Scope, the first parameter. Scope is a statement that defines the boundaries of the project. It tells not only what will be done, but also what will not be done. So the scope tells what will be done and also what will not be done. What you have to do, what you do not do. In the information systems industry, scope is often referred as a functional specification. In the engineering profession, it is generally called a statement of work. Scope may also be referred to as a document of understanding, a scoping statement, a project initiation document or a project request form. So this is the first parameter of the project or first constraint of the project parameters. Next parameter is quality. So the following two types of quality are part of every project: product quality and process quality. The product quality the quality of the deliverable from the project are called product quality. The traditional tools of quality control are used to ensure the product quality. So, we ensure the product quality with the traditional tools, quality control methodologies. Then process quality, the quality of the project management process itself. The focus is on how will the project management process works and how can it be improved. Continuous quality improvement and process quality improvement are the tools used to measure this process quality. A sound quality management program with processes in a place that monitor the work in a project is a good investment. Not only does it contribute to the client satisfaction, it helps organizations use their resources more effectively and efficiently by reducing the waste and revisions. Now, quality management is one area that should not be compromised for any project. Next parameter is cost. The cost of doing the project is another variable that defines the project. You can call it as a budget of the project. Cost is a major consideration throughout the project management life cycle because it will affect all other parameters. The first consideration occurs at an early and informal stage in the life of a project. The client can simply offer a figure about equal to what he or she had in mind for the project. Depending on how much thought the client put into it, the number could be fairly close to or wide of the actual cost of the project. Consultants often encounter situations in which the client is willing to spend only a certain amount of work. In these situations, you do what you can with what you have. So within the budget, we have to carry out the project. Next, time, duration of the project. Next parameter. The client specifies a time frame or deadline date within which the project must be completed. This is called the duration of the project. To a certain extent, cost and time are inversely related to another. When the cost increases, we can complete the project very soon. If cost is reduced, budget is very low budget, means you have to complete the project a little bit long. The time a project takes to be completed can be reduced, but cost increases as a result. Time is an interesting resource. It cannot be invented. It is consumed whether you use it or not. So, time is very interesting resource, very important resource also. The objective for the project manager is to use the future time allotted to the project in most effective and productive ways possible. Next parameter is resources. Resources are assets such as people, equipment, physical facility or inventory that have limited availabilities, can be scheduled or can be leased from the outside party. Some are fixed, other are variable only in the long term. In any case, they are central to the scheduling of the project activities and the orderly completion of the project. For system development projects, people are the major resource. Another valuable resource for systems projects is the availability of computer processing time, mostly for testing purpose, which can be present significant problem to the project manager with regard to the project scheduling. Next, we go for classifications of the projects. You can classify the project in various ways. So many organizations choose to define a classification of project based on such project characteristics as the following. First characteristic is risk. How far the risk of the project. So establish the level of risk. Based on that, we can classify the project high risk projects, medium risk project, low risk projects. The value, business value of the project. Based on the business value of the project, you can classify the projects like high level, high value projects, medium value project, low value projects. Then length, that is duration of the project, you can classify the project into 3 months, 3 to 6 months project, 3 to 12 months, and so on. Then complexity. Based on the complexity of the project, you can categorize the project high complexity project, medium complexity project, and low complexity project. Then based on the technology used in the project, you can classify the projects well established, used occasionally, used rarely, never used. Then number of departments affected. Based on that, you can classify the project one, few, or several, and all. Then cost. So these are the classification. These are the characteristics. Based on these characteristics, we can classify the projects. Then next, type A project. The type A projects have high business value, high complexity project. So the high complexity and high business value projects are called type A projects. They are most challenging projects the organization undertakes. Type A projects use the latest technology which, when coupled with high complexity, causes risk to be high. So the risk also high. The technology is very latest technology, and complexity is also very complex, high level complexity project. So these projects are called type A projects. To maximize the probability of success, the organization requires that this project utilize all the methods and tools available in their project management methodology. So using all the project management methodologies, we have to success that is probability of success can be maximized. An example of a type A project is the introduction of a new technology into an existing product that has been very profitable for the company. Next classification is type B project. These projects are shorter in length, that is duration of these projects are shorter, but they are still a significant project for the organization. All of these method and tools in the project management processes are probably required. Type B projects generally have good business value and are technologically challenging. Many product development projects fall in this category. Next one is type C project. These are the projects that occur most frequently in an organization. The type C projects are short by comparison and use established technology. The many are projects that deals with the infrastructure of the organization. A typical project team consists of 5 people. The project lasts 6 months. And the project is based on less than adequate scope statement. Many of the methods and tools are not required for this, that is project management methods and tools are not required for this project. The project manager uses the optional tools only if he or she sees the value in their use. Next one is type D project. This just meet the definition of a project and may require only a scope statement and a few scheduling pieces of information. A typical D project involves making a minor change in an existing process or procedure or revising a course in a training curriculum. So this table shows the project characteristics can be used to build a classification rule. So the first class is type A project. The duration of the type A project greater than 18 months. The risk will be very high. Complexity also very high. The technology is advanced, that is breakthrough. The likelihood of problem is certainly we can expect problems. The type B class project, the duration of this type B projects will be comes under 9 to 18 months. The risk will be medium risk in these projects. The complexity also medium. The technology usage is current technology could be used in type B project. The problem, you can expect the problems in this type B project. Then next category is type C. This is duration of this project will be 3 to 9 months. The risk is very low, and complexity also low. Technology best of breed. Problem, sometimes the problems will arise. Then last one is type D. The projects which are having less than 3 months comes under this type D project. The risk is very low and complexity also very low. Technology is very practical one. The likelihood of problems none. So these are the classification of the project. The next one is project management life cycle. A project management life cycle is a sequence of processes that includes scoping, planning, launching, monitoring, controlling, and closing the projects to which it applies. So, it is a sequence of process. It includes scope, plan, launch, monitoring, controlling, and closing. A valid PMLC, that is project management life cycle, always starts with a single scoping process and ends with a single closing process. So, it starts with single scope and ends with single closing process. The intervening process must each be done at least once and may be repeated any number of times in some logical order. The logical ordering of this process is a function of the characteristics of the project. The phases of project management. There are 5 phases of project management. These phases are as follows. First one is initiation, planning, execution, performance monitoring, and closing. So these are the 5 phases. So in this initiation process, the scoping and scoping will be done. Next one is planning. In this phase, we plan for what are the works to be carried out in this project, and execution, we allocate the small works into the team members, and in the performance and monitoring phase, we monitor the level of completion of project and each phases, whether it is going as per schedule or not. Then closure phase. So this is the project management life cycle. In project initiation, we identify the problem or opportunity, establish the project goal, that is scope, define the project objectives, and perform cost benefit analysis, determine success criteria, then list of assumption, risk and obstacles will be anticipated. So this is first phases, that is after management approval of this project initiation, we go for project planning. Then in this, identify the project activities. What are the activities? We divide this whole project into small phases or small activities. Establish resource requirements of each activities and construct the workflow and the sequence of activities. Then prepare project proposal. After getting approval from the management for planning, then go for execution. third phase. After in this project execution, we recruit or organize the project team, establish the team operating rules, assemble project resources, and schedule or execute the work plan, document the work progress. Then parallel to the project execution, monitoring and control phases also work. It will monitor the project progress against the plan, whether it is according to the plan the work is going on or not. Establish reporting protocol or procedure, install change management procedure, establish project problem resolution mechanism, revise the project plan if necessary. If necessary, if you want to revise the project plan, if there is any changes, you have to go for revise the project plan. Then it is a feedback loop. It will go for project planning. So after revising the project planning, you go for execution. The simultaneously monitor and control the workflow. After all the works are completed, then you go for closeout and evaluation, that is closing phase. Conduct acceptance test, establish rollout plan or schedule, complete the project documentation, conduct post implementation audit, complete final project report. So these are the 5 phases in the project management life cycle. So in this lecture we discussed about I gave some small introduction about project management. Thank you.